Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Gothic Dark Mysteries. Now, I just remembered that before I leave this place, I must do, well, it isn't that I must, but I want to do one other thing, because I won't be returning to this location. And the thing I want to do is to draw from the sacred font of life, which I found at the graveyard over here, because it gives you some pretty useful bonuses to your statistics, and by that I mean permanent bonuses, so it's definitely worth doing. Yeah, the Goblet of Life. So I couldn't interact with it before because I lacked the proper chalice, but I found it near the dragon over there. Where is it? Yeah, the Graal of Life. So basically, let's take a look. I think it gives a permanent bonus to health, so I have 660. Yeah, you can fill the chalice and drink from it. And apparently it has purified my soul, which gave me 40 additional hit points, which is nothing to scoff at really. So that was definitely worth it. But also, I realized that I picked up a bunch of those crystals, and some of them actually also give you permanent bonuses, because like this one is just a crystal you can use for creating spells, which is something I will showcase, but some of them actually have like an active property that you can use them and it gives you something. So for example, this one I think replenishes mana. Yeah, this one is needed for a later quest, so I'm not going to use it. It's actually the reward from the arena. Those are all parts of the key to leave this place. But I think I had one more, right? Runic crystal. Well, maybe I was wrong. I guess that's all of them for now. But basically, the crystals are like a version of runes, but they are unique in that they only have like a limited number of uses, so usually around a couple dozen uses, and then they disappear. So even though it might seem OP at first to have a crystal that regenerates your mana, and then you can also get one that regenerates your health if you find it. It definitely is very powerful, but you must remember that it's limited, so it's better to use potions at first and use the crystals once you run out of potions, which incidentally is something that is going to happen to me rather soon. But I've finished the quest, so let's talk to Eli'Ne again. Yeah, and I've also got the plants needed for the ritual she wants to conduct, so let's hand them over as well. Now, the ring is pretty good, but it's nothing to write home about at this stage of the game. And the wells of pleasure is, well, you get to have sex with her, which not only gives you an opportunity to view a pretty cringy cutscene, which is actually from Gothic 2. It originally plays in vanilla Gothic 2 whenever you go into a brothel, but also it gives you a different conclusion of this quest, and actually gives you a better reward down the line, because if you choose the ring, then she's a little bit annoyed with you, because obviously she was described as a nymphomaniac and she would like, you know, some of your meat at this point. So if you turn her down, she's going to be annoyed, and she will tell you to basically, you know, go away. And if you choose to actually have sex with her, she will be more favorably predisposed toward you, and she will let you participate in that ritual she mentioned, which in the end is a better option if you want to maximize your reward. So I'm going to choose that. Yeah, so as you can see, the mating process was so exhausting for the hero over here that he nearly died. And while the cutscene was obviously, you know, because of the graphics, it was kind of weird, I totally forgot how nice the music was. This short background piece was really kind of atmospheric and almost like romantic, so I really liked it. I forgot, you know, how good it was for such an insignificant thing. But I've also got this bloody crystal from her, and it's actually one you can use to regenerate your hit points, which is nothing to scoff at this point in the game where I have 600 hit points, so replenishing that just by using potions is going to take a lot of them, so it's definitely useful to remember that you have this option from now on. But as I said, it's limited in that the crystal disappears after you use it too many times, so that's also something you have to keep in mind. It seems there might be a bug in the works here, because she should initiate dialogue with me and conduct the ritual that she was talking about, but it seems like it's not happening. So I guess I'll go to sleep in her bed, and maybe she'll reset the next day. It sometimes helps to do that in general, where when an NPC is stuck. Damn it. Okay, that's a little disconcerting. Yeah, so as you can see, the protagonist even even notes in his journal that spending the night with her almost killed him. But what's really troubling me is that she's not initiating the conversation properly. Which I guess I was bound to run into some proper bugs overall. Oh, right. Okay. I must say, my immersion is rather unceremoniously broken by the fact that apparently the evil supreme necromancer is called Diegomir, which you know, obviously invokes the name of Diego, which is one of the nicest characters probably in the game. Oh, apparently she was mightily horny while seeing me fight him and decided to have sex with me again. Yeah, but probably I'm like 90% sure that Diegomir is simply like the nickname of one of the developers or one of their friends or something, and they wanted to put him in the game, which I don't mind, but I think it would have been better utilized in some different place. Man, and the broken translation makes it even more cringy, you know, than trying to talk about sex in those broken English phrases. But the reason why taking this route is better is that you get the opportunity to kill this necromancer here and loot his stuff, and among other things you get this really nice ring, but also the Breath of Death magic rune, which is going to come in handy when I finally learn magic, which is going to be soon. As you can see, I've been saving my learning points for quite some time to do exactly that. But with the quest finished, I'm 100% done with this location and can finally leave. Though not before battling some more undead. At this point, I have a strong enough main weapon that the anti-undead sword is slowly becoming not really viable anymore. I must say the zombies' death animation never ceases to creep me out. It's really like surprisingly creepy and disgusting for a game like Gothic. You know, it's especially the scream. Like the scream coupled with the visual of the like light tearing their faces apart. It's really striking for me. Yeah, but I'm back at the Primeval Temple, and I need to report to Shergar to complete the process of duping Beliareth, because obviously he ordered me to kill the fire carrier, which would have, if I would have listened to him, it would have cemented my path to the path of Beliar, but I wanted to stay true to Innos, so we're going to deceive him. But first, let's talk with this guy, because I think I haven't done that before. Now, on one hand, my immersion kind of chafes against the supposition of this powerful being, you know, this half-god, just wanting something to drink. But on the other, I definitely can sympathize with a guy, you know, suffering under an unjust prohibition. But what it's really all about is that if you help him, he actually gives you a permanent bonus to strength, so I'm definitely not going to say no to that. Oh, so apparently we drank together. Okay, with that done, let's talk to Shergar. So until this point, there have been like 3 separate versions of the Firebearer's name, like the primary being the Fire Carrier, which doesn't really sound as good as the Firebearer, although it's probably closer to the original Polish name, which if you really look closer at the dialogue over there with Shergar, they forgot to translate it actually and just put the original Polish name in, or rather just left it there, which I guess really showcases the lack of coordination and the lack of like proofreading that this translation suffers from. And on one hand, I'm kind of annoyed by it because I think it really can stop many people, many English speakers, from enjoying this mod. But on the other hand, it's difficult to fault people over it because obviously it's a giant production. It was difficult enough to create it in Polish with the amount of quests and additional locations and additional dialogue, and it's even more difficult to translate such a huge amount. I wouldn't be surprised, like, don't quote me on that, but it definitely seems to me that if you combined all of the dialogue from the mod, it would easily double the amount of dialogue from the original game, and perhaps even like triple it, because some of the dialogue trees in the mod are really expansive, like especially here at the Primeval Temple. They tend to speak in those very long phrases. So there was like one of the first episodes I've been here was like straight up 50 minutes of talking. So it's a lot of text to translate, and you can't expect people that were doing it for free in their free time to carry their tasks with the same diligence as a professional developer would. But let's talk with Algirion. Now, funnily enough, the eagle has landed is, I believe, a reference to a very famous phrase from a very famous Polish comedy, namely the movie Killer, which they use it also as a kind of, as a kind of code for something, but it's in comedy, in like comedic phrasing. Well, let's talk to him. Yeah, so I've got a vial of fake blood out of it, and I can give it to Beliareth, who won't be able to tell the difference. And then I'll finally be able to learn magic from Algirion, because soon enough, as a part of the main quest, I would be forced to choose a master, and you can either choose a Shergar, which would confine you to the path of the warrior, or you can choose Algirion, and then you'll be a mage. Let's scan. I wanted him. They look pretty much the same, so that's why I was confused.
Tak długo jak mnie to nie dotyczy. Zawsze to samo. Od razu wiedziałem, że będą kłopoty. To się już więcej nie powtórzy. Niektórzy nigdy się nie nauczą. Myślałem, że to się skończyło już dawno temu. Kiedyś takie sprawy załatwiało się inaczej. Myślałem, że to się skończyło już dawno temu. Czekaj.
I must say, my immersion is probably more negatively impacted from the fact that they've kept some of the default background dialogue chatter than by the fact that the main dialogue doesn't have any kind of audio, because it really doesn't fit this place, you know, to hear them exchange the same stock phrases as every regular digger in the old camp. Okay, so I think it's time to talk with their leader, Ken Oates, and alright, if you walk up to him bearing the touch of Beliar, the cursed hammer, he takes it away, presumably to stop you from taking it out into the colony and murdering everything there, although as I said, it wouldn't do you much good, because even though it kills everything in just one hit, it also doesn't give you any experience, so let's talk to him. Yeah, so now it's the time I have to choose a master. As I already said, I'm going to choose Algirion and finally learn some magic. Yeah, so now I can finally learn how to enchant crystals. Yeah, so as you can see, the price tag is pretty staggering. That's 50 skill points, and in general I wouldn't say like if I were trying to min-max, I wouldn't say it's definitely worth it. It seems to be a little too much for such an ability, but it's one of the major like new additions in this mod as far as skills go. So I definitely like to showcase that. So I'm going to learn this skill. Now it's also time to finally learn the circles of magic, to be able to properly utilize both the runes and the crystals. I'm just going to learn them all, because that's the exact reason why I have stored so many learning
Jestem
points.
gotów, by przystąpić do pierwszego kręgu.
Przystąpienie do pierwszego kręgu wiąże się z poznaniem tajników magii runicznej. Każda runa zawiera esencję szczególnego zaklęcia magicznego. Wykorzystując swoje zdolności magiczne, będziesz w stanie ją uwolnić. W odróżnieniu od magicznych zwojów zawierających formuły zaklęć, magia zawarta w runach jest trwała. Runy są źródłem czarodziejskiej mocy, na którym możesz polegać w każdej sytuacji. Twoja własna magia potrzebna jest podczas korzystania z run tak samo, jak gdy korzystasz z magicznych zwojów. W miarę awansowania do kolejnych kręgów będziesz poznawał nowe runy. Wykorzystaj drzemiącą w runach moc do poznania samego siebie.
Now, an interesting thing is that apparently they used Xardas's voice lines for this, because obviously he can teach you the circles of magic in the vanilla game, and I think like the words they use to describe the next circles are actually shared between all of the characters that teach you them. So for example, Coristo from the Fire Mages, Saturas and Xardas. So I guess the developers of the mod saw an opportunity to have some voice lines and use them for a different purpose, which I don't really care about. If anything, it's perhaps even more jarring, because you know, most of the dialogue with the primevals, like 99%, doesn't have any audio because it's added by the mod, and then you suddenly have this voice piece, but the voice itself, I guess, kind of fits the character. So at the very least, that's nice. So as I said, I'm just going to learn all of the circles of magic.
Jestem gotowy do przystąpienia do drugiego kręgu.
Poznałeś już magiczną naturę języka runicznego. Teraz zgłębisz jego tajniki. Po przystąpieniu do drugiego kręgu poznasz silniejsze zaklęcia ofensywne oraz tajemnice magii uzdrawiającej. Musisz się jeszcze wiele nauczyć, zanim dane ci będzie poznać prawdziwe oblicze magii. Wiesz już, że runy mogą być wykorzystywane do chwili wyczerpania twoich własnych pokładów siły magicznej. Jednak zanim przystąpisz do działania, zastanów się nad celem, jaki ci przyświeca. Moce, którymi będziesz dysponował, mogą nieść śmierć i zniszczenie. Ale prawdziwy mag wykorzystuje swoje zdolności tylko wtedy, gdy jest to absolutnie niezbędne. Kiedy w pełni uświadomisz sobie ten fakt, zrozumiesz prawdę kryjącą się za magią runiczną.
Możesz mnie wprowadzić w arkana trzeciego kręgu?
Trzeci krąg to jeden z najważniejszych etapów w życiu każdego maga. Przystępując do niego, przestajesz być uczniem. Zaszedłeś już bardzo daleko na ścieżce magii. Potrafisz posługiwać się runami. Ta wiedza posłuży za fundament twojej dalszej nauki. Używaj magii runicznej świadomie i z rozwagą. To, czy z niej skorzystasz, czy nie, powinno zależeć wyłącznie od ciebie. Wybór, którego dokonasz, musi być ostateczny. W magii nie ma miejsca na wahanie. Wyobraź sobie wyraźnie ścieżkę, którą chcesz kroczyć i ponieś wszelkie konsekwencje swojego wyboru.
Jestem gotowy do przystąpienia do czwartego kręgu.
Ukończyłeś już pierwsze 3 kręgi. Nadeszła pora, byś zgłębił prawdziwą naturę magii. Magia runiczna jest zaklęta w kamieniu. W końcu runy to fragmenty magicznej rudy. Tej samej rudy, która wydobywana jest w kopalniach. Z pomocą bogów runy nasycane są magią w naszych świątyniach, stając się narzędziem naszej potęgi. Z twoją znajomością magii runicznej cała wiedza zgromadzona przez wszystkie świątynie w tym królestwie stoi przed tobą otworem. Pamiętaj, poznanie natury magii jest kluczem do poznania natury potęgi i władzy.
Jestem gotów do przystąpienia do piątego kręgu.
Dobrze. Wprowadzę cię w arkana 5. kręgu magii. Od tej pory będziesz mógł wykorzystywać magiczne runy zaklęć ognistej burzy i lodowej fali oraz posiądziesz moc niszczenia ożywieńców. Jednak najpotężniejszym zaklęciem 5. kręgu magii jest tchnienie śmierci. Gdyby udało ci się kiedyś odnaleźć tę runę, dysponowałbyś niewyobrażalną mocą. Staraj się nie wykorzystywać magii tego rodzaju bez potrzeby. Jest ona darem od Boga ciemności. Poznaj granice swoich możliwości, a poznasz samego siebie.
Okay, so I can't learn the sixth circle of magic for now, but 5 will be more than enough to utilize a wide variety of spells. So I'm going to just dump the rest of my learning points into mana.
Nie mogę cię niczego nauczyć. Brak ci doświadczenia.
Okay, that on the other hand totally didn't suit the character.
Zejdź mi z drogi!
Okay, so I have 66 mana. And I guess I can equip some of the runes. Healing will be definitely useful. Storm of Fire. Wait, we'll do it a little bit different. Breath of Death is... wait, it's Circle 6? That's strange. He mentioned in the dialogue that it's Circle 5. Okay, so I'll take healing, definitely. Can be useful. Wave of Ice might be useful as well. Army of the Fallen is basically a mass skeleton summon, which might be useful as a distraction from time to time. Okay, let's enchant some of those crystals. So the Crystal of Transformation is potentially useful. But unfortunately, because it's partially randomized, you can get either a transformation into the demonic puma, or you can get a transformation into an orc elite, and the orc elite is definitely better in my opinion. Now, summoning a demonic puma might be circumstantially useful, also as a distraction, especially because it's a lot stronger than skeletons. Battle Rage is a spell that causes your enemies to attack each other, which isn't really useful because if they happen to kill each other, you're not going to get any experience, so I'm going to leave that be. Now, I don't want to create the spell of Innos' Rage because I'm not quite sure if it's not like tied with something else, so I'm going to just proceed with the main quest a little. Yeah, so this part of the quest is basically like a riddle contest, which I guess can be very much hampered by the poor translation, so I'll see how it is in that department. Okay, so basically something that follows you all the time but you don't quite notice it, and night is killing it. Now obviously it doesn't make sense to answer like truth or dream or whatever, so out of this it's the shadow. Now this is a bunch of pseudo-philosophical bullshit, and I guess you could make an educated guess to choose pretty much any of those, because it's just so abstract. You could say it's hate or whatever, or dreams, but I just happen to remember that it's death. Now this... I guess the main clue was that when I wake, your nightmares also wake up or something like that, which rules out air, because air is also something that, you know, that wraps around everyone. And also water doesn't make sense unless you're like hydrophobic. And death was the answer to the previous question, so that leaves you with either oblivion or darkness, and I think it was darkness. Yeah, right. Yeah, so this quest requires you to go to the arena and win all the fights, but I've already done that, so I have the crystal with me. Now, I'm not sure if he already gave me the proper spell, or do I have to do it myself? I guess I have to do it myself. Yeah, but the Call of the Primevals is basically like the ultimate death spell. It pretty much one-shots everything on the screen, but you can only use it like... Wait. Yeah, I'm confused. But you can only use it like 5 times. Do I have it or... Now wait, the Crystal of the Spirit is a bonus to mana, right? Yeah, so that's also useful, and I guess I can just drink the potions, because I won't ever, with the amount of learning points left to be earned, I won't ever hit the cap for getting mana from teachers, so it doesn't really matter. But what I'm confused now is, where is the ultimate spell? This is just a regular crystal that I can use to enchant something myself. But there is no option to create the Call of the Primeval, so what gives? Okay, I'm kind of confused. Well, I'm going to maybe look around the internet to see what's the problem with that. But for now, it's actually enough, so I'm going to save. And that's all for this episode. I'll see you in the next one.